What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. It's been a while since my last video. I haven't really felt like there's been too much going on in my life that's been particularly important or relevant to come on and talk about. But obviously, yeah, the title of today's video, I've resigned as a personal trainer at the gym that I was working at. And in today's video, I'm just really going to get into the details of why I've decided to resign as a personal trainer, and overall, you know, why I'm deciding to not work in a commercial gym or any sort of gym ever again based on the experiences that I've had. So if this seems like an interesting topic to you, continue watching to the end. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And without further ado, let's get into the video. Yes, so let's get into it. So I've been working as a personal trainer for about a year and a half now. I've worked at 2 different commercial gyms. I'm not going to be naming those gyms, where they are, or the brand, just for reasons of legal reasons. Basically, I don't really want to get into name dropping or anything like that. That's not what this video is about. I'm not trying to blame certain individuals or blame organizations or all the rest of it. I want to stay away from that and keep it personal and about me and my personal reasons for resigning from my role as a personal trainer, and yeah, why I'm no longer going to be working in any commercial gyms. So the reason that I resigned from my most current personal training position was the fact that there was an issue with the content that I was posting, particularly or specifically on my Instagram. So those of you that haven't come across my Instagram content, go and follow me at Strong-Minded Joe. So my content is basically all about helping single guys to level up, to improve their life, to obviously to transform their body, to gain confidence, to attract women, and to find their purpose. And as I'm sure a lot of you realize, when you are trying to become successful online, you have to kind of be a little bit entertaining with your content. That is the game, all right? Because there's so many people that are trying to become successful online. Obviously, you've got to stand out by having a dynamic or entertaining personality. So if you're not entertaining at all, then obviously you're not going to get anywhere in the online space. And so my content often is quite offensive, quite aggressive, quite extreme, and can cause some people, soft people, let's say, a little bit of offense. Now, if you're one of those people that gets easily offended, then I would probably recommend that you don't follow me and you go follow someone else who's going to tell you all the nice things that you want to hear about yourself and all the rest of it. All right, that isn't what my content is about, or it is, sometimes it is about that, but I go from one extreme to the other. Some days I'm going to be like giving like a nice, warm-hearted message. The other times I'm going to be giving a cold, ruthless, harsh truth kind of content, and that's just sometimes how I'm feeling, my mood. And also, I think sometimes you want to hear a nice message, but sometimes you need to hear the cold, hard truth as well. All right, so it's important for me to be able to express myself and communicate honestly, and that's what I'm going to be getting into. So obviously, I was suspended from my position as a personal trainer due to my content, and I made a personal decision to resign because I didn't want to have someone else prescribing to me or telling me what I can and can't post on my professional account, on my business account, because for me it's very, very important that I have autonomy, that I have control over what I'm allowed to say on my social media, and I'm going to be getting into that in just a moment. Okay, but we're just going through the details really of how it happened in terms of me resigning as a personal trainer from the gym. And the thing I want you guys to realize is that this is like this isn't like something that's just kind of triggered a decision. It's something that I've been thinking about for quite a while, honestly. Obviously, as I said, like, I was working at another commercial gym before, and part of the reason that I left that gym was the fact that there was a lot of changes being implemented, and a lot of it seemed to be about getting as many members in as possible, making as much money as possible, and that affecting the culture and the environment, not only of the gym for the members, but also there being more of a priority on meeting the standards and the needs of the shareholders and all of the rest of it, and not as much care and value being given to the personal trainers that are actually there paying rent to use that space, to use that equipment, and feeling as though I'm not receiving an equal exchange of value. Okay, so the amount of value that I was giving in terms of money and also time, I felt like I wasn't receiving that back in terms of me being promoted as a personal trainer. You know, advice, help, support, all the rest of it. And here's the thing, is like, I knew that when I started as a personal trainer at both of the gyms that I worked at, I knew that it was going to have to be mainly me putting myself out there, trying to get business, trying to have conversations, and this, what it comes back to is the fact that I've realized that I don't really want to do that. I don't actually have that natural desire to go out and to sign more clients. And I was starting to realize that in my role as a personal trainer, that I was getting very bored in sessions. You know, I was like, just wasn't enjoying it as much as I thought that I should be, as much as I hoped I would be. And maybe part of that was the fact of working at a commercial gym and not feeling that comfortable in that environment, but I think a lot of it was actually just down to the fact that that I wasn't enjoying being a personal trainer in general, that it wasn't really fulfilling me, it wasn't really challenging me. And I'm a big believer in doing what you love to do, okay? And I've changed jobs a lot of times in my life, and I've never regretted leaving a place. You know, I've left a lot of workplaces pretty quickly. Like, I make an instant decision and I leave, and I've never regretted doing that, because I always move on to something that's better for me, that's more aligned to my goals and to my personality and who I want to be and how I want to feel in a workplace. And the reason that I wanted to post this video is to inspire you guys to understand and to know that change is a good thing. Even if, like, so for example, for me, obviously I've left my role as a personal trainer at the gym. I've obviously taken a huge pay cut in terms of my finances. My finances are obviously very unstable right now. I'm probably going to have to go and get myself like a bar job. But the point is that change is always going to be a good thing. A lot of people say the grass isn't green on the other side, and for me that's really just scaremongering people to stay in a position that isn't really helping them to grow and improve and isn't fulfilling them as individuals. Okay, whatever change you make, even if it's the wrong decision, you learn something from doing that, and then you can implement that into your decision making in the future. You can always make a change from another change. All right, but I never support or encourage people to stay in a position that isn't good for them, that is making them miserable, that isn't rewarding, that isn't fulfilling for them. Now I understand, right, stability is important, but a lot of people, a lot of you guys out there overvalue stability, okay? Because realistically, you probably have a lot more stability in your life than what you think you do. And you talk about stability because you're basically giving yourself a way out, an excuse to not do something that you're afraid to do. You're afraid to make the change, so you make excuses like about stability, when actually you have enough stability to make a change. And if you did make a change and it was the wrong thing, then you could very quickly make a different decision, and it wouldn't affect your life too much. As it is, I've made a big decision in my life that's caused a lot of instability, and it isn't, obviously what happened triggered me into a decision, a very rash decision that I wouldn't normally do. I wouldn't normally abandon all of my stability in one move like that, okay? But the reason for it was very, very personal to me, okay? And that's what I'm going to get into now. So obviously the reason that I resigned is because they were trying to control my content, okay? I've built my following on Instagram to over 10k followers in the last year or so. Obviously I've got this YouTube channel. I see my direction and my future as being online, okay, because that is where I can make the most amount of impact. I can change the most amount of people's lives. I also love being on camera, speaking on camera. I like influencing people through my content. And when I first started on this journey, I was 22 years old. I'd finished my masters. I basically didn't get any of the opportunities that I wanted coming out of my master's degree. I was very, very disappointed in the academic system. I got a degree, I got a master's degree, still didn't open the door to opportunities that I wanted to be involved in, and felt very disappointed I didn't get to even try those opportunities, those things. And that's when I started my online business. That's when I started posting regular content, and I'm now 30 years old, so that's 8 years in the past when I first started. And the amount of growth that I've had as a person, emotionally, spiritually, physically, not yet financially, but hopefully one day, the amount of growth that I've had as a person, a lot of that comes down to the fact that I've become a lot more comfortable in sharing my views and sharing my opinions and my beliefs. The way that I was raised and grew up, it was in a way where I felt that I couldn't express myself fully, and I'm not getting into the details as to why that's the case, but that's the way that I felt. I didn't have any confidence as a teenager, and I've worked extremely hard to get that confidence back to a point where I can feel more comfortable in sharing my views and my opinions. I'm still quite a reserved guy when it comes to actually being around other people and sharing my views and sharing my beliefs, but my confidence grows every year. Like every time that I'm coming on camera and expressing myself like this, my confidence grows. So I wasn't willing to compromise on that aspect of my life of sharing content, because it's such an integral part to my life and my confidence and who I am as a person. Not to say that everything I post like on here or on Instagram is all of me. Like obviously social media, there is a certain amount of performing and entertaining that goes on, and obviously I have a life outside of what I post on social media, but it is a really central, integral part of my life that I wouldn't feel comfortable in compromising, okay, because it's the one place where I feel like I can be exactly who I want to be. I can say whatever I want to say, and although I know that I'm going to get backlash, I might get negative comments, at the end of the day nobody's going to be able to cancel me on here. Although obviously censorship is a big thing nowadays, a lot of people do get censored. At this current point, I haven't been censored on YouTube. I haven't been censored on Instagram, and that is a big part for me. That's like a big thing for me, because when you have experienced being shut down for your views, shut down for your opinions, people criticizing you, people you know, not being friends with you anymore because of your views and beliefs. Yeah, those are things that have affected me a great deal in my life, and things that I've really worked hard to heal from, and to rebuild my confidence from that point as well. A lot of people don't quite understand and realize how hard it is when you're posting content and you're constantly getting negative comments, you're getting online abuse, you're getting people thinking it's all right to message you certain things. Like, a lot of people don't understand what it's like to post content, and to post content that's kind of quite controversial, could potentially upset people, but it comes from a place of me really caring about other people and wanting to help other people as much as possible. And when you are constantly getting criticized, it does kind of impacts me quite a lot, and I'm sure that a lot of other influencers feel the same way as well. So given that I've made that sacrifice, and I'm quite happy to say that it's a sacrifice and it's a choice that I make. I don't nobody forces me to post content online. It's a choice I make, but at the same time I've made a lot of sacrifices in my personal life due to the fact that I post this controversial content, and as a result of that, obviously I'm not just going to give up now on the content that I post, especially now that I'm starting to gain a little bit of recognition. I'm starting to get more attention on my content, and I'm obviously starting to impact more people, which is the main purpose of my content. So yeah, that's pretty much it from me, guys. Obviously I've resigned as a personal trainer. I'll never work as a trainer, especially in a commercial gym. I can say that hand on heart, I'll never do that again. Okay, and it's not only down to the fact that about my content and feeling controlled, but it's also about the fact that I absolutely love training. When I started training, it was about 5 years ago. I had my heart broken. Training had such a big impact on my confidence and on my mental health and my self-esteem. And I was finding that the more and more that I trained other people in a gym environment, and the less and less that I started to enjoy it, the more it was affecting my own training as well. And I was seeing it as a chore and a way of making money, and it was really devaluing training, which was once upon a time like my favorite thing to do. And obviously since I've resigned as a personal trainer, I've rejoined a different gym. I'm starting to enjoy my workouts a hell of a lot more again. I'm no longer doing it for other people. I'm no longer doing it for business purposes or to show that I have credibility in what I'm doing. I'm doing it for myself. I'm doing it for me. And that's the way that it started. That's the way training started for me, and that's what I want to continue doing, because it brings so much satisfaction and enjoyment and fulfillment into my life. So I'd be very surprised if I decided to work in a gym again. I'm pretty sure that I'm going to continue training people outdoors, or at someone's house, in more of a private environment. Going to be obviously working at a bar, and I'm going to continue posting my social media content. So go follow me on Instagram at strong-minded Joe. subscribe to this channel already, and I look forward to my next life update whenever it is. See ya.